Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, World of Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be doing a full-down review on the Japanese Type 5 Kari. This is the first Japanese premium tank destroyer we have in the game. And as many of you know, the Japanese vehicles are, well, quite dangerous, mainly because of the ridiculously high pen they feature. In Tier 10, we have the Hori, which now with calibrated shells has over 410 millimeters of AP pen. But even down at Tier 8, the Type 5 Kari is quite ridiculous, with over 313 mils of AP penetration. What does that mean? Well, essentially, this is a Tier 8 Hori. The armor on whatever tank you're using is butter for this tank. And when you pair that with very solid dispersion and even decent armor, this is going to be a very dangerous tank. So let's take a brief look at the statistics. We'll make our way over to the armor, and then we'll obviously get into some gameplay. So the gun, 440 alpha. I actually like. It's not too low, but it's also not very high to the point where your reload is going to be ridiculously long. It's kind of that nice little sweet spot. It's got a 3.4 second aiming time, and I'm running Refined gun, but honestly, you should just be running Refined nowadays, and it's just flat better. So, yeah, 0.27 dispersion with Refined, which is basically the same as a Leopard 1 base. That's pretty accurate. 2,450 DPM is nothing crazy good, but there's a bit of a saving grace. You see, take a look at the premium damage. It's 425. Essentially, loading gold in this vehicle loses you nothing. It's 15 damage per shot. I mean, you can just load gold all day. Not only do you gain more pen, but you only lose 15 damage. I mean, that's nothing. So yeah, the Type 5 Kari, while it may not have as much DPM as something like a Scorpion G, trust me, it makes up for it in other ways, especially the penetration. 6 degrees of gun depression, little disappointing. I was hoping it would be more like 8, but it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, it's a tank destroyer, so you're not too reliant on the gun depression. Mobility, top speed of 38, and it reverses at 15. It's got a very good power to weight of 17.4, and also pretty solid traverse speed at 45 degrees a second. So, overall, it's decently mobile, and it's not limited by the reverse speed. It's got an incredibly dangerous gun with high alpha, very good penetration, and overall pretty solid gun handling statistics. The final question we have, how is the armor? Well, taking our way over to Armor Inspector, it's kind of mediocre. The upper plate is about 206 millimeters thick. That means even using the 6 degrees of gun depression, it's only about 230. I mean, if you angle it properly, you can get it at about 240, but then these little corner cutouts here are only about 140. So, yeah, the armor on this tank is not very good. The superstructure is only about 200 millimeters thick, and the lower plate's only about 100. And the sides aren't much better, 75 mils. So, yeah, if you're expecting this tank to be a super heavily armored beast, unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. This thing is going to be able to get bounces against Tier 7s and the occasional ricochet from a Tier 8, but I can't really say you're going to be getting them all too common. What I can say is that it's going to be quite dangerous when not only can you bounce this occasionally, but it's going to be slapping you back with a shot that will almost always pen you. I should also mention that in the consumables, you can run reticle calibration, allowing you to have even better dispersion, and in provisions, if you really want to, you can put on gear or improved gunpowder, which is 35% better shell velocity. So with all those things listed, let's actually get into some gameplay and see what this tank can do. Alright, here we are. Up against us, what do we have? Well, an STA-1, RU-251, and an LTG. Alright, well, where's our team going? To town, it would appear, which is not what we want. What you will notice, though, is that this tank is fairly mobile, accelerating even uphill here, upwards of 20. I mean, sure, that's not, like, crazy, but it's pretty good, actually. I'm surprised on how mobile this tank is. It's definitely more on the power to weight level of a medium than it is a heavy. And even though its top speed is only 38, that's plenty. You're not going to need much more in a vehicle like this. I'm just glad it's not Ferdinand levels of top speed or, you know, something along those lines. So you'll notice the enemy team has made their way over to base C. Not very surprised. We are going to just hug the outer wall here. You always want to do that because these little brick walls are actually going to cover you from being detected if there's enemy vehicles up top these hills. But as we are noticing, it does not appear that there's anything up here, as we probably would have seen it. But we do have a T-20 HTC around the corner, and we are going to get a free, 509 shot right through his tank. That feels very nice, I have to be honest. All right, well, we reload in 3 seconds, and we're Probably going to get another slap out here. Let's aim it on the HTC. I mean, the pen on this thing is crazy. Even the standard pen is more than enough to deal with any armor. The HTC is a fairly beefy vehicle, and yeah, I mean, as you saw, just the AP alone had no trouble cutting through, let alone loading gold. So we are now where they had captured the base. The question is, where are they? Well, we've got an STA spotted. Not seeing anything else, so we're just going to roll around this corner. We're going to aim it on the STA. However, not able to connect that shell just yet, but I think if we just push him off, even if we bleed a bit of health, it'll be worth it. So let's do that. Wow, he's just going to jump off, isn't he? Okay. Well, he'd rather run from me, but I'm going to make sure that he regrets that. Nice 570 damage high explosive. Progetto gets a nice shell in as well. Well, maybe. I was expecting him to get a nice shell in. And now we just reload. See ya. There you go. So he bled a bit of health, but it's not really that big of a deal. That was still a pretty fast clear. Okay, well, we got the LTG, and we also got the 112. We're just going to load gold to guaranteed pen him there, and we're also going to put on our adrenaline to give us a more effective DPM. 112 is in the open, same for their RU. We're going to load in a high explosive, and the shell actually misses. Weird. I can't really say that's the tank's fault. That was just a bit of poor RNG. Okay, well, we got the 112, who appears to be still in the open, and we're going to load in a gold shell. There you go. I mean, the pen on this thing is crazy. You just don't miss because of the fact that you pen every shot you fire. We got the IS-2SH on our flank, and let's aim in a shell on him. 435 damage. Pretty easy stuff, and the IS-2SH is trying to push my IS-6, so ideally, if we just make our way over here, I should be able to help out with the IS-6 quite a bit. However, our IS-6 is kind of getting in our way. Not too big of a deal, though. Can't HE the Progetto, but 393 will do the trick, and there you go. Nice bounce. As I said, the armor on this tank, it's pretty good at getting bounces, which is all you really need it to, honestly. It doesn't need to be the best armor ever. All it needs to do is get the job done. That's what it's doing here. We've already gotten 2 shells into this enemy Progetto, and we've bled him out quite a bit at this point. We've also got the IS-2, and we're going to try and track him so he doesn't have the shell. Does get it out, but I can't really complain. We've already brought him down quite a bit. And now we've got the Progetto in front of us still. And let's get a nice shot into him. 501. We back up. We angle it. We angle it. We angle it. He can't hit me. And just like that, all that's left is the enemy IS-2SH on our flank. So let's just sit right here. Let's get a nice 435. Make sure the Progetto can't kill me. And there you go. We win on base cap. That was quite a solid game. I could have backed up and worried about the base. But as you saw, I had confidence in the fact that our team would be able to kill the enemy and that I could get out some damage. We did 5,447 this game. We finished with a mastery, a high caliber, and we should also net ourselves a pretty solid chunk of credits at 180,000. Wow. That was quite a solid first game in this tank, and I really can't complain all too much. And by the way, for any of you wondering, press accounts do not get noob matchmaking. They don't. We can take a look at this team, and there you go, 138,000 battles, 25,000 battles, 27,000 battles, 32,000. So I don't think I need to say much more. With that being said, let's load into another battle. Also, if my teeth do look a little bit blue, it's because I have a Slurpee. I haven't had one of these in years, but I said, you know what? I want to get one. Not as good as they used to be, though, I'll be honest. They used to be real fluffy. This one's, I don't know, it's kind of more like an icy. I'm not going to complain. I have a sugar addiction, but just thought I'd say that if you're wondering why my teeth look like the collector logo. So, out of the first game we played in the Kari, I can definitely tell you that this plays exactly like I expected it to and wanted it to. And that is a tier 8 Hori. And that's great if you like that playstyle. The Hori is one of the more underrated tank destroyers in tier 10. For some reason, a lot of people don't grind it, even though it's absolutely busted. I mean, the level of penetration the Hori has is crazy. It will absolutely butter through anything placed in front of it. And when you pair that with very good accuracy and a solid casemate which can get bounces, it's great. And that's exactly what this plays like at tier 8. This thing is fast, it's got a really solid gun, and it just feels honestly fantastic to drive. So we're going to see just what we can do in the Kari here. I'm really hoping that Tiger keeps going because that's the one I want to shoot. So let's see. And, shell goes just a little bit too high. We have the enemy CDC on the flank over here as well. This is just kind of a weird game, to be honest. The enemies all went over towards the other side of the map, which is not normal for a team. Okay, well, let's make our way to the CDC very, very quickly, and let's see if we can save our teammate. There you go. That CDC, which was a threat, is no longer too much of a problem for our team to most likely deal with. All right, well, we got the T-25, too. Let's just put on our auto-aim. That'll hopefully get the job done, and there you go. You can see the upper plate is not the most strong, but it's pretty good. We're getting some bounces. I don't know what the heck is bouncing us, but it's going right off of our Pier's upper plate. Got the Tiger in the open. Wait for that aiming time, and there you go. Nice 450 juicer. I mean, this is kind of a not so fast battle right now, but a lot of people are dying. We're going to make our way to the T-77 and RU-251. That's some free damage over here, especially because it looks like the T-77 has just dumped his clip on my teammate. Alright, we're going to poke the RU. We're going to aim in a high explosive shell, and chunk. Oh my god, 628. This thing does not care. It just nukes. Alright, well, the Chrysler K is over here, and what I'm kind of hoping is that we can get a little bit of oh, well, he's dead. Never mind. I did not expect the Chrysler to die that fast. Okay, well, let's just back up. And I guess we'll deal with the T-77. I wish that RU didn't shoot me, though, because we are now a possible one clip for the T-77. But I'm not too worried. I'm going to make my way over here. And let's see, there's the RU. Yeet! See ya! You can see how accurate this thing is on the move. It's actually surprisingly good. So there you go. T-77 fires once, and I don't really care if he shoots again. We're going to load in a gold shell. And as I said, loading gold in this tank, you pen every shot. I mean, look at the T-77 with gold. It's just all a pen everywhere. And it's just kind of crazy in that situation. There you go. Nice 430 shot. And, well, yeah, this was another very, very easy win, if you want my personal opinion. We're going to reload here, and there you go. We get a bounce. We finish him off for 319. We blocked 1,700 damage this game, and we did over 3,100. Two very easy, very solid games back to back. Some of you might say, but Droodles, you didn't fight tier 9s. Honestly, I don't really think it matters. With 300 millimeters of pen, it doesn't matter what tier you fight. Even if you went up against tier 10s, you would still penetrate them quite easily. I mean, the T100 LT has close to 300 mils of pen. This has more, and the T100 LT already cuts through an E100 turret as of the latest update. So, judging that you're in tier 8, this gun is crazy good. And as you can see, the armor, while not incredibly effective, will get bounces. It's troll. It reminds me of a Cheeto SPG, which is the tier 7 on the line. Very similar design as we can see, and because of that, both of them are very troll to actually penetrate, and they both get bounces. I would definitely recommend people that are wanting to maybe mess around with a Hori and see how it feels, to try and get their hands on this tank, because this is literally just a Hori. Now, I'm not going to really break into how to buy it, because I don't know if it's crates or not. I'm pretty sure it will be, but honestly, I've said enough times at this point not to buy crates. It's really on to your decision-making, whether you think it's worth it or not. But what I can tell you is whether you're watching this video now, or 5 months in the future when this vehicle's for sale again, it is quite a confident tank. Its gun is great. Its damage output is fantastic. This might be my new favorite tank destroyer. It is incredible. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.